We'll now go to questioning, and I'll start this off with you, Mr. Benzel. Detention and demurrage fees greatly impact our shippers, and this was part of the Ocean Reform Shipping Act, as well as the American consumer. And between 2020 and 2022, 9 of the largest carriers serving U.S. liner trade charged approximately $8.9 billion in demurrage and detention fees above the shipping costs. Last week, the Commission published a final rule on detention and demurrage and what practices could be used to help cut down on costs and improve transparency. Can you explain how you think this new rule will help American businesses?
Yes, Chairman. Well, I believe that that what you did here in the Commerce Committee to provide guidance on how to evaluate these claims for detention and demurrage was the singular most important thing that we could have done, and challenging those that were unfairly assessed really gave a prescriptive set of requirements on how you should provide billing and assessment to the claims. So I think the steps that you took to require a simplified process is the number one tool that we can use to challenge those that are unfairly assessed. So we also, Chairman Maffei established an audit of all of the ocean carriers to assess their process, and our staff works routinely with them. So I think those two efforts have really taken a lot of the challenge that we would have faced ordinarily without legislative change.
Well, this was a very bipartisan effort. Obviously, our colleagues, Senator Klobuchar and Senator Thune, taking the lead on that legislation, and then us working with our House colleagues and Congressman Garamendi to make sure that we got this over the goal line. But what is it in the transparency aspect that is allowing the U.S. to feel more comfortable? Is it that we're being able to discern these issues and thereby being able to detect something that is an unfair practice?
You know, we don't have as much transparency as I would like in the ocean shipping world. If I were to try to get an airline ticket to LA 5 months from now, I would know exactly what was going to happen and when it would arrive. And so I am looking at issues related to creating greater transparency on the system of movement. Really, we're now not in a position of allowing U.S. consumers to do advanced planning or to anticipate when there's delays in shipping, and there are delays. And it's not always the fault of the carriers. It's issues related to the Red Sea and Suez Canal and Panama, but we do need...
Well, you would say that when U.S. agriculture product was left on the docks and ships returned empty because they could make more money by hurrying back than taking U.S. products back, that was a problem.
It's a huge problem. Okay. We're here to protect the U.S. consumer and to ensure that services are fair, reasonably accessible to all parties.
I think our point was if you're calling on U.S. ports, then you have to have a fair trade. You have to have a fair transportation trade. You can't have like mysterious practices where all of a sudden you got to go and you leave things on the dock. So that was our main point. Unfortunately, I got to get to other people. And Dr. Chin, it may take me 2 rounds on all our questions, but that's okay. We have lots of colleagues who want to ask questions. Thank you again for your willingness to serve. You know, these issues about the Amtrak board and experience, and you certainly have a wealth of experience. And so it's good to hear your love and passion for the rail system. One of the things that came up is your work, obviously, working for Senator Romney, and the fact that some you've expressed support for President Trump's budget. I just need to know, where are you on long-distance Amtrak service? What are your thoughts about that?
Chair Cantwell, thank you for the question. I'm very supportive of Amtrak's long-distance mission. I think Amtrak has a couple of goals, as I noted in my introductory remarks. Obviously, there is a mandate for Amtrak to be run as a business, but more importantly, perhaps, there is a public mission to Amtrak as well. And the long-distance component is critically important to the future of Amtrak. And if you look historically, it is a big part of Amtrak's heritage as well. So if confirmed to the board, I would be an advocate and supporter of long-distance trains and long-distance rail and the communities it serves throughout the United States, urban and rural.
Thank you. That's good to hear. And I'm glad to hear of your support on the high-speed rail corridor in California. I'm sure Californians will be happy about that. We obviously have our own ideas in the Northwest, what we would like to see. So, but we'll get to that in a second round. Senator Cruz.